with the Crimson Tide. Oglesby, Driscoll, and Covington on the officiating call tonight, and there are some raucous fans ready to roll here as Maryland and Alabama are underway, and the tap belongs to the Bama Crimson Tide.
And here it is, Grant Hill right now. The Terps go a little minute, and they will mix and match.
Now they come out to Miller, shut out on Thursday, and that shot, somebody got a hand on it. It's tapped over and saved by Dante Scott.
And controlling pace is essential for Maryland. They want to slow things down, whereas Alabama wants to play fast and make it a track meet.
And they will take an occasional opportunity break, Maryland. But you're right, they won't push the envelope. Hesitation, nice dump. Big
Side, and that's Reese. We warn you, looking at the lineup, said he was the star the other day for the Terps, and he gets the opening basket.
That's the area he's got to be concerned. Doesn't want to foul. Averages over 3 a game.
What a play right there defensively by Donald Carey to force the steal. And the Terps come out with a good start in the first minute of action.
Here's the guy, Young on the perimeter. He can break you down with the bounce. They like the post Dante, who likes to dribble, drive, spin. You can pick up a charge on him on occasion. Nice pump.
In the paint. Basket goes for Young.
Right now, Maryland being deliberate with their attack. Early on, just got to have good offense to get back and set up their defense.
Winnerly runner. Boy, it makes that look so easy.
He is a talented kid. Great off the bounce. Really gets you off balance. Big time knockdown shot.
Good little matchup between Quinterly and Young.
Automatic switching here with Sears on him now. Carey, they're going to hug him. He can make that shot. Nice pocket.
Reese had it. And closer, and he gets his second basket of the game.
Able to use his size and strength against the length there of Bediako.
3 trips for Maryland, 3 baskets.
That's what they do very well. Get in the lane and kick opposite.
Sears, they were on quickly with Hart. Pinning him in the corner and just flings it outside. Somehow that landed in the hands of Quinterly. Dangerous pass. Now he goes inside. Floats, blocked by Reese.
How about that presence? Boy, he is an ankle breaker. Quinterly.
Scott.
Don't give him that open look.
Carey's going to take it. Got it. Oh, Maryland. My goodness, coming out with a 9-2 opening.
Pump, and they bid.
Here's Miller, first team All-America.
Oh, don't reach in like that. Reese gets a nickel dimer.
Raph, you talked about it there. Julian Reese has to be careful. Commits about 3.2 fouls a game. 16 games with 4+ fouls. Too important to this team. What he does on both ends of the floor, particularly anchoring that defense.
2 shots coming for Miller. It was stunning to see. But we found out later he wasn't 100%, not scoring in the game against Texas A&M Corpus Christi. So that's his first career NCAA tournament point right there. Watch live men's games on your computer, phone, tablet, streaming device with NCAA March Madness Live. Scan the QR code to download. So the freshman out of the Nashville area of Antioch, Tennessee, gets the 2 free throws.
Everybody can handle on the perimeter here. Reese in the low box, a little screen, a hesitation by Hart. Almost like a pass.
Reese tried to go up, but he was shielded. Now we got
they may have a hook and hold on. Let's see.
Could be 2 on Reese right here.
Yeah, they give it to Reese.
And Reese is saying he was hooking my arm. That is big. That gives him 2. My goodness, 3 minutes into the game.
There's a hook and hold there. Might say a Reese piece.
You just got to be smart.
Sold it pretty good. I know. Just drop your arm.
Let your arms get back. Too important to this team, particularly with the start that Maryland's had.
I mean, you're talking about a player here, Raph, that had 17 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 blocks in the game against West Virginia. They're going to actually review this. And Gene, I mean, could you build a case it was a hook and hold on both sides?
I think You know what, Jim? I don't think so. I think I'm looking at Brandon Miller for this reason. Yes, they do both get caught up, but once Brandon Miller knows he's caught up, in my opinion, he then continues to clamp down, and then really it's the spin with his body at the end, which, you know, could potentially injure a player when you're pulling that way that quickly.
No foul.
So my feeling is that felt like a hook and hold.
They stayed with it, correct?
They just did. They came over and told us, Gene, you're going to stay with
I'm
the
a little
call on
surprised
10
by
red.
that, to be honest with you.
They can't change that, though, Gene, at that point, right? That foul was made, called.
Yeah, once they make that decision right there, Ralph, they're going to stay with it. So, no, they can't change that now.
Emilian comes in for Maryland, number 15. There's Miller off balance. He slipped. Saved by Bediako for the three outside by Quinterly.
Well, that's where they're dangerous. Kickouts, dribble drive, finds. They go really small now. Bediako at a disadvantage.
Good stuff, Scott here.
Yeah. I love this kid.
Stance jumper, foul on Sears.
And we talked about him losing all that weight. He's a different player.
And he has a tendency, Raph, to be inconsistent. You know, he's had some really good games and games where he's quiet, but he will have to be on point today. So skilled, inside, outside, great strength, ball handling skills. And of course, can get to the line with ease.
I don't think we'd like to go to dinner with him, though. He's changed that diet. Adversity for us.
The way we like to eat.
Yeah, exactly.
2 shots for Scott. Yeah, he's shed a good amount of weight, at least 25 pounds. And the senior from Philadelphia, he likes to say he's wired differently. He actually wrote a book called that, Wired Differently, My School Journey. Had a great visit with the Terrapin team yesterday, all the starters.
A lot of us are wired differently. We realize that.
Yep.
Whereas Kevin's going to get a job running Weight Watchers, I think. This kid is so good dancing. Nice cover in the back.
Bediako almost got an N1.
And with their shooting and how they spread the floor, that screen and roll action will be there. And obviously with the guard play, just really finding the open man right there. But what luxury to be able to just throw it up to Bediako and let him go get it.
Now, you were talking the other night about him running rim to rim, too. He is extraordinary, getting up and down the floor. Good hands now. Big upside.
Had 4 blocks and the win against the Islanders of A&M Corpus Christi the other day. And you can just see once he maximizes that talent, he's getting better by the day. He's going to be a force. He's already played on the Canadian under-18 national team.
Struggles right now from the free throw line at 35%. Look good on that one.
Nate Oates out of high school and up in Buffalo. Wonder what he's had the last couple of years here.
In his 4th year in Tuscaloosa, which is about an hour away from here in Birmingham. There's Young. Boy, he made a good effort to get an open shot, but the foul's going against Maryland.
And Brandon Miller dealing with that groin injury, but Nate Oates was really honest with us yesterday when he said that's not the only thing that was holding him back on Thursday. All the media attention, the accusation, the threats that he's received. He told us Brandon is receiving counseling. He has an armed security with him at all times, but it is definitely affecting him on and off the court.
You almost can't see how it wouldn't.
No question about it.
Forget he's just a freshman, obviously. And as Tracy said, a lot of things happening in his life. But
and I'm sure you beat yourself up when you have bad judgments, too.
He's not anything like what he thought his freshman year was going to be like. Being in the middle of a controversy that just won't go away. So many people still looking for more answers and explanations. Miller takes the shot.
He ran that America's play screen to screener. Little pop for an open look. I like him to put it on the deck to take advantage of his size and length. This is his game right here. Reach in.
And that's going to be reach in foul. You're right on Gurley. By the way, Miller at the other end now in the tournament is 0 for 8 from the field.
he's rushing his shots right now, not really getting to the rim. not finding a rhythm. Conversely, Scott right there with Bediako out of the game, taking advantage, getting into the paint.
You can block some shots. Excuse me, Grant. Instead of reaching down, you reach for the release.
Hakeem Hart.
Known for that outside shot. Nice pump bite.
Martinez. Ooh, he lost it on the way. And Alabama comes running with Bradley.
Oh, this
Yeah, it's got to be traveling.
Lost the ball there. But the defense swarming from the Crimson Tide there and trying to get out in transition where they thrive. Yeah, definitely the right call.
Here's Hart with Miller defending. They get it right back to him. Saw an opening, and that's a charge. Then he gets shoved to the ground.
Tell you what, at the end, he must have used that arm. A pretty good move off that hesitation. Known for his shooting ability, they're going to make him. And once you put the shoulder in, it's an easy call.
You don't mind. I mean, the physicality, you want that from Maryland. You want to be smart. Alabama has struggled with teams that have been physical. Just want to be able to be smart, not get in foul trouble.
Maryland with 2 straight turnovers down the floor.
And straight up, man, they have not gone to the matchup as Gurley takes that deep one.
Ball right into the arms of Clowney, and he converts on the putback.
That's what hurts. And not much size on the floor right now for the Terps.
Really hurtful for them to see Reese get the 2 fouls in the first 3 minutes, and the crowd has now been brought to life. As it goes over and blocked, swatted away by Burnett.
Called a foul right there, Jim, on, I think on Clowney right there.
It is Clowney.
Now, underneath, there may have been a hit at the end of this thing, but boy, that's pretty clean up top. Ball in hand.
Yeah. Once again, Maryland settling. They're getting paint touches, which are leading to opportunities.
And the graduate student played 3 years at Western Michigan, played a little bit at St. Francis of Brooklyn, a million out of Toronto. 1 more at the line.
74% free throw shooter. Pretty good looking stroke. You notice how Kevin has saved getting back to the defense. Straight man to me. We're going to see this combo matchup that he likes to run, but he's saving it. Edwards do a nice job getting right into that lane and either finishing or finding something.
Put up wildly though, and a million able to take it off the floor.
Good defense there by a million.
Now, look at Miller way out, defending on Jameer Young.
Look at the foot speed and coverage.
Young still can't find it.
Nice cut.
Bounce pass was there. Carey doesn't have a look at it. Has to beat the clock. And it's all there. Shot clock violation.
They can guard. They can get after you.
Well, both teams going small so they can switch a lot of the action on the perimeter.
Well, no one looks like he's limping as he went off there. Talking about his physical ills.
Swanton Roger comes in for Maryland. We didn't even see him in action against West Virginia. It was, again, trying to rotate some bigs underneath with Reese saddled with the 2 fouls on the bench. They also bring in Jahari Long in the backcourt. Here's an open shot for Gurley. And Martinez goes up to get it.
He's really an athletic kid to finish big at the rim.
They haven't made a basket now in the last 4.5 minutes. Turned it over 3 times in that stretch. There's
Nice
Martinez slashing and back. No, my goodness. Swanton Roger was right underneath the rim. So the drought continues.
Nice move.
No finish though. That was Griffin who got in there, got in the lane. Alabama easily getting into the paint, getting the short shots, but they're not falling.
Along with the ability to place a backup. Boy, that was a long pass. Dangerous. Look at this coverage.
He got blocked.
I thought it might have gone off his head there. Martinez, great defense. Yeah,
They've changed the call.
A good referee, though.
good teamwork there, and off his hand there. Yep. And look, here's the thing. Maryland's a heavy isolation team, so one-on-one defense is a must. Good defense without fouling, and yes, the carry knocked it off his hand.
6 straight missed attempts by the Terps. We've had only 1 field goal in the last almost 5 minutes by both sides total. 1.
And to Grant's comment, I mean, you've got to run some action there. You can't just ISO against this team. You've got to be a lot more cutting, screening, ball reversal.
Burnett.
Oh, nice play.
How about being tied up like that and belongs to Maryland? We got the under 12. That was outstanding, that defensive effort.
Yeah, by Long. Goodness.
Yeah,
Big time effort.
Look at Long.
Boys, huh?
Seton Hall guy.
Hey, why not? It all stems from the hole.
Tempo is going to be key. Do you like the pace of this so far?
No, but we haven't got enough stops to get out. We turned it over in transition 1 with Jaden Bradley, so we got to get stops to get out. Our defense was better in the second 4 minutes, but our offense has been struggling.
Thank you.
Well, there he is. And he clearly, coach says it, knows it. He's not 100%. 0 for 3 from the field. Made a couple of free throws, but big story at the moment, the inbounder happens to be Juju Reese. He's back in with 2 fouls. Didn't sit him but for 5 minutes and 4 seconds. But the Terps did not hit a field goal while he sat.
Well, you got to get him touches in the low box area if you got him on the floor.
Really rolling the dice here.
Yeah.
Willard.
11:40 to go in the first half. There he is.
Go at him. Be careful, don't lower your shoulder. Nice footwork.
That was such a good move, but Bediako brings it down. Maryland now 0 for its last 7. Well, Alabama's 1 for its last 7. Cold shooting as Quinterly puts it up front of the rim. And Long, who made that great defensive play going to the break, gets the rebound.
Scott has a, they're going to mismatch with Scott if they take advantage. There you go, look in.
Yeah, he's got Quinterly behind him.
He can elevate. They're going to get some help. Somebody might get free.
Bediako comes in. No call. Ball popped out of the hands. Quinterly that time. Tune in to Inside March Madness. Check out the play of the day presented by the Buick Encore GX. Martinez quickly rushes to check in.
Quinterly reaching in right there, got his arm. We could see it right here from this angle. Missed call, but Alabama does something unique. They force the post player to the baseline, knowing the help's coming from
Baseline.
Yeah.
You see that a lot this year.
Look at Hart. Hart makes the play on the inbounds and is saved by Hart. And Emilian also helped out.
Young back on the floor, too. I can break the D down.
Terps are scrappy. They're not shooting at all, but they certainly have put up a feisty effort at the other end.
Kevin does that with his team, no matter where he's coached.
There's Young into the paint. And
There's the
reach in that time. They got Sears. Oh, Quinterly.
That could have been number 2 on him because they didn't call the other one.
So number 1 on him.
That drop coverage, pick and roll defense of Alabama downhill for Jameer Young. He can get that all day. Attack mode.
I think he can actually get the floater too because of that drop coverage.
Back to Scott. Scott, turn around, good look. Still can't buy one. Terps just can't hit it.
Oh, sloppy with the ball on the open floor.
And look at Young go back to get it. That was forced again by Hart.
And Miller in traffic.
Maryland 0 for its last 8.
Again, to elevate. Had some help baseline.
Hart takes the 3, front of the rim. Tapped out to Young.
We talked about pace. Right now, this is all Maryland. This is how they want to play.
We've been stuck on a number, 2 numbers, 12 and 10. for a long time. Here is the pass. Emilian wasn't ready for it. And Bediako comes out with it. One basket combined the last 7 minutes. Will that change here?
Their defense has really been good. Nice dump.
Bediako ties it at 12.
And that's that ability to run the floor, too. Big guy right at the 10. Nice find.
First points in the last 5.5 minutes between these teams.
Two pretty good defensive teams. The offense is certainly struggling on both ends. Oh, Blue tried to blow it up. It's got to be on Miller.
Certainly is. Miller called for that one. His first. And now AT&T 5G takes us above the rim for one of the best plays of the night.
How about this little dump? Pretty good find. And the beneficiary of getting the puppies up and down the floor. Little pocket pass. Sears, who can make threes. Throws attention, puts it on the deck.
Donald Carey to inbound.
Well, you can gamble if you're Alabama. You got the stopper right here.
There's Young.
That's the shot you're going to get on that drop, yeah.
Up to Miller. Scoop from the far side and foul.
Well, you can't relax when you score.
I said it best. Bediako stays so far back in the paint. That floater, pull-up, jump shot is going to be there all day, and that's right in Jameer Young's wheelhouse. That's how he likes to play, seizing the moment and taking advantage.
The basket by Young was Maryland's first field goal in 7:37. And Reese has just picked up number 3. It didn't take long. He comes back onto the floor and lasts less than 2 minutes before he picks up another one. It was high risk.
Tough gamble. It really was. Chancey. Knowing the prior history, too. Disqualifications, high level of fouls.
But you know, they've done well without him on the court right now. I actually think going smaller, they can switch that screen and roll action and not get caught up in rotations and losing shooters.
I'll tell you how tough it's been. He's played only 4 minutes in this game, committing 3 fouls in 4.
There's Bediako, too. He's going to put his back to the basket. And say size in that area, that is essential.
One of 2 for Miller.
On Maryland, I go back to that high screen and roll action.
You can get a deuce. Move Bediako. He's just zoning up in that lane. Nice use of the screen.
That's a 2. Look how high Miller could sky, even though he's not 100%.
Nice play. Come up empty.
Underneath. Nope, traveling. No basket.
I tell you, Maryland's defense has been excellent. Even when they're beaten with the dribble, make themselves taller, get a piece. Just at the end of it, nice hands, and you just see the quick dance maneuver.
12 minutes in, and Alabama has not led in this game. Young, that's a 3.
Nice recovery there. Looked like Quinterly might have blocked that.
Young would agree with you. I'll tell you, Maryland exhibiting a lot of toughness.
They are.
They may not be looking pretty, but they are certainly leaving it out there.
Especially on the defensive end. In Maryland, they don't get credit. They're actually a good defensive team, particularly guarding the three-point line this year.
Tough match, I think, for Carey out this far with Quinterly.
Sears hesitates and feeds the corner. Clowney.
Look at this help.
Doubled up. Yeah, great help.
Down to 2.
Sears knows it. Got it off in time. Just barely.
They're going to check. But I think
it's going to be good, and it's going to be Alabama's first lead.
I think you're right. Boy, these 2 guards can make threes. They own you. Close out on them, put it on the deck, and Sears. Whew.
It's out of the hand in time.
So good they named a store after him.
Welcome back. Julian Reese with 2 early fouls. You decide to put him back in. He picks up the 3rd. What was the thought process there?
Yeah, I played him with 2 all year, and this is the first time he's picked up his 3rd.
you know, we're not very deep at that spot, so I trust the big fella. He's done it for me all year. I might actually put him back in again with 3 just because I have a lot of faith in him.
What about the defensive effort from your team in this first half?
Yeah, it's been great. You know, our offense is obviously struggling, but they're a very good defensive team. Their length is bothering us inside. We just got to be a little bit stronger inside.
Thanks.
Thanks, Sean.
Well, he may put him back in. That's stunning, but he's not going to put him in right now with 7.5 to go in the first half.
Well, I see like another former Seton Hall coach. He has a sense of humor.
A stubborn streak. You know, it's one of those things I think you regret a little bit. But off air, Grant and I were just saying, Jim, it's a small kind of approach that's advantageous when you play a team like Alabama. They don't have a low post center. You can open up, do some cuts, do some dribble drive.
Well, Million might be a better matchup because he can guard out on the perimeter as a big.
Nice screen to get Carey a look.
He thought about it. Scott dishes now to Young, who circles back over to Scott.
Nice little two-man play. Bediako Lumen there.
Working hard for it. Hart, 3 to shoot.
What reaction defensively.
Puts it up off the gut. What a great move. What a great move by Hakeem Hart.
Miller right there alongside of him.
Back in front goes Maryland. And Miller gets his first field goal of the tournament.
And Rafi didn't settle. He's been taking a lot of off-balance three-pointers. He attacked, got in the paint, and showed that touch at the rim.
His game against Texas A&M, Corpus Christi, only the second time he was held under 10 points in a game this year. He was held to 8 at Houston, over 8 from the field, 8 free throws. Here's 4 to shoot.
How aggressive they are defensively. A little poke by Sears.
With 1 on the shot clock.
And he didn't need to do that. Bediako was right there.
That's the philosophy of their defense. Get out, be aggressive on the perimeter. If the drive goes, you've got the big foul. But look at this extension, too. Big time kiss. The stretch that refreshes.
And he's a guy, he doesn't need a screen. He can go get a bucket on his own. Did right there.
Scott at the line.
This is Maryland's numbers, I think. Stay in touch, keep it down. Don't let them get some runouts. Alabama in the open floor. Pretty tough.
Amazing to think that Maryland and Alabama met in this very spot in the second round just 2 years ago in the NCAA tournament. It was a big win by Alabama, 96-77. But here they go, the matchups, the brackets come out, and they get the repeat just a couple of years later in the same spot.
Tough shot.
Put back though, Bediako.
That's his job. That's a nice little set that they run, a little ball screen at top, but the curl out.
That's where you miss Reese.
Yeah.
Second chance points, 7-0 in that category for Alabama.
Nice bump to give a good look to Hart. Empty.
All Alabama underneath. Miller so good when he gets the ball out here, takes off, dishes.
Nice help.
Little head fake and take it to the paint. Oh, look at that scoop. Nowhere close. Approaching 5 minutes to go in a very slow scoring first half.
There's that drop deep, not a good pass. Good idea, but
Telegraphed.
judgment, yeah.
Sears.
Nice
The
play.
floor and take it right back. So Hart says, I'll make up for that. And he does.
Only screen for the blow by, and then drop defense again.
That pull up that he loves and he had hit earlier.
Once in a while, these guards forget about the other guys. They're so good at breaking you down with the bounce. Tough match. Got to get some help.
Huge size advantage, and Miller hits the shot.
How good was he away from the traffic, too? Double coming high side.
And Andrews feeling a whole lot better right now. Starting to make some moves. It looked like the All-American we saw all season long.
Right here, this is next level. The double team coming, spin away from it, great touch. Miller finding his rhythm
in the first couple of days of this tournament. Purdue goes out. Kansas lost. Houston, when this floor was 10 down at halftime before a very impressive second half, to end up winning by double digits. But here you got another 1 seed. It's seeing Maryland hang there right with them.
You got to give Maryland credit. I mean, Alabama's a high volume 3-point shooting team. Only attempted 4. They averaged 29 for the game. So, you know, Miller's getting it going right now, but Maryland guarding the 3-point line and being smart and efficient on the offensive end.
And I think Alabama's defense is terrific. Chris Bediako in the back, they can gamble, pressure the ball, extend the defense, and they are not just a pretty face on offense.
So what do you make of all these 1 seeds finding life so tough? Here's Young trying to get the pass. $1 million.
Well, I think before the year started, we all said this is going to be the craziest NCAA of all time.
It's off and running with that, no question. 4 to shoot.
Look at that pressure.
Young turn around, and again unable to hit from about 10 feet away.
Got to stem the tide now if you're Maryland.
On the corner side of the basket,
got
but
a
a foul called on Carey in the act of shooting 3. And the under 4 timeout is upon us now. Wow, well, that would certainly, I mean, with Kansas already in the same bracket as UCLA, with Kansas losing, you could lose the 1 and the 2 out of the West on the same night, but Northwestern 3 down, 2 minutes to go. And there you see Kansas losing in the second round, 3rd time in 4 tournaments. Of course, they won the championship the 1 year they didn't. Princeton on with a blowout win over Mizzou. So we got a 15 into the Sweet 16 for the 3rd straight tournament. How about that?
Wild, just a wild year.
Incredible.
I'll tell you what's interesting and incredible is the other night, Nick Pringle for Alabama had 19 points and 15 rebounds. He has not played in the first 16 minutes.
Miller didn't play much the other night. That's one of them. And he played well, and they didn't go with Bediako as much.
And in fairness, too, it was a lot of it was at the end of the game. The game was in control, and you know, Alabama had the game.
I thought Raft had him as the MVP of the game.
I did.
Well, right when he said it, it happened.
So did his mom and dad.
TBS proud to be the only network that can bring you all new episodes of American Dad. The new season premieres Monday, March 27th, only on TBS.
And Burnett, by the way, that was a good call. The defense landed in the shooting area. And we were wondering, we see a lot of it, just jump, stop, or skip out. Don't fly by.
It's the old Final Four call, Virginia and Auburn.
Yeah.
Last second. Decided that game for Virginia with the 3 free throws.
Well, we just had to continue that curl.
And that's a rebound pulled down by Clowney with aggression. Short trip for Maryland.
You want Carey to run him off the line and force him into a tough 2.
Miller waits
and backs. Quick hops. Up quicker on the second one than the opponent.
Now with 7, give him 9 for the game. A leading scorer in this one for either side.
Can't get over how aggressive they are outside.
Danger time for Maryland.
Scott has really not been able to shake free and get his looks. It goes out
by Bediako.
Gotta shoot it.
Got it off in time. Emilian taps it out, and Scott saves it just in time with that release. Martinez.
Pretty low. But Bediako staying at home.
Look at this defense. This defense is incredible.
Pass.
Look at this. Nothing easy at the rim. Length prevailing.
A couple of shots they passed up, though.
I think you got to settle those 10-footers.
They're there. It's a lot of work for nothing. Great defense by Alabama.
Look at this mismatch. Good job, Martinez.
Winnerly back out to Clowney. He can hit this. Not this time, though.
Over the top, going the other way.
Yeah, Bediako.
Good block out there by Emilian. This defense, the length, the extra hustle, not quitting, contesting everything. Multiple efforts, that's what it requires on defense, and having Bediako back there is a luxury. You can really press up on the wings, knowing you have the 7-footer to help you out.
It's going to be a 1-on-1 at the line. Patrick Chameleon, graduate transfer.
Oh, you got to make those just to stay in touch.
Maybe it's that basket. It's the same one that we saw Auburn shooting at in the second half of their game. Nothing's falling at that end.
I think your confidence is shaken by this excellent perimeter defense. How about this deep one?
We thought he could make it too.
Good hustle by Young.
Young really taking off. And he's pushed to the floor.
And I like Young. They have not had any easy opportunities in the open floor. Get down before that defense gets set. They just lock you up.
It's such a struggle offensively right now for Maryland these last few minutes. I think you're right. Maryland not known for being a running team, but when the opportunity presents itself, trying to get a quick two.
Second foul on Miller.
And the depth of Alabama, impressive.
Coming up, AT&T at the half. Get caught up on all the latest tournament news, highlights, and updates coming up on AT&T at the half. Well, the story's been told, but it's such a good one. Jameer Young looking to transfer. He told Kevin Willard that he wanted to finish his career playing in the NCAA tournament. Kevin told him, you come here, that's what we're going to do.
How about that?
And it's all come together.
Confident player and coach. Closing out is big now for Maryland. Stops, gets some good looks. It's so good with the ball.
Gurley back outside.
Excellent coverage here.
Now, what are they going to do? Griffin.
Short, got to get the ball.
And minute and 4. Ball belongs to Maryland.
That was great defense right there, Rav.
They reached back, didn't they?
Taking pride, guarding your man, not giving up anything easy.
Young gives it up to Hart to bring it across midcourt.
Oh, ISO.
And they got an empty side, too. Somebody's got to cut. Good pump.
Coming in. Carey's got it. There's the basket.
How about that?
That was a beauty.
Oh, we got injury, too. I think it might be Clowney.
Clowney limping to the sideline. Maryland got its first basket in over 6 minutes.
May have come down in a strange fashion trying to stop that dribble drive by Carey.
Clowney contesting on that drive right there and landed on that left ankle.
Oh, that's nasty.
Carey's foot there, but
really roll. Watch how much this rolls over.
Oh.
Yeah.
Brings back bad memories for you, right?
You would bring that up.
Winnerly. No one stopped it.
They don't have that size inside. Kid is good. Getting into the lane.
Final 17 seconds.
Put a million in pick and roll night right now with Young. That drop coverage, attack it.
Horns look, a yo-yo. One pops, one goes.
Now with 5. Young. He got 3 for a moment.
There's that little snake dribble.
Yes, he had to take it. It's been there for him. And we reach halftime, and Maryland's hanging in. The team that's had to many times fight back from big deficits. Got down as much as 9 in this first half. This cuts it to 5 at the intermission.
He knows how to toy you with that little snake dribble.
Let's go over to Tracy.
Thanks a lot. Maryland with a little run there, but how would you categorize your defensive effort in that first half?
Defense was great. You know, we've got to be able to capitalize off it a little better on offense. They're doing a great job on their defensive end. Our defense has been pretty good. It's carrying us. We got to get better on offense.
Thanks a lot.
Maryland with 6 points in the last 90 seconds. The end of the first half with the score, Alabama 28, Maryland 23. We'll send you to AT&T at the half after these messages. You're watching the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. Baseball team right there, but we got basketball in this city. It's the talk of the town, and Alabama leads it at halftime, 28-23. No second chance points for Maryland. 9, however, for Alabama, as you see the Buffalo Wild Wings first half stats. And for more Let's go over to Tracy.
Well, Jim, Kevin Willard was extremely pleased with his defense, but he said offensively it was hard to get something going with Julian Reese out with 3 fouls. He said they're getting used to their length and they need to space things out more on the floor. As for Alabama's Noah Clowney, we saw him turn that left ankle at the end of that half. He has a sprain, but they do expect him to return.
Yeah, he's on the floor right now. And so is Reese. Reese with the 3 fouls. Play only 4 minutes in the first half, and they're still in it without a pivotal part of their team playing many minutes in the first half.
And we talked at the opening about pace. This is right in the pace that Maryland wants, and they guarded the 3-point line, 1 for 7 for Alabama. So Kevin Willard has to be happy, even though they're down.
And it's important as Reese says, Jameer Young sort of found a home on that foul line with his floater. See if they capitalize with that drop defense of Bediako.
Okay, we start the second half with the Tide with the basketball, up 5. Quinterly right away to the hole, make it 7.
No coverage on that side either. Bediako doing a nice setup.
Maryland in that first half, 6 turnovers, 7 missed layups. Yet they were only down 5 at the intermission. Here's Reese.
Gotta go to work. Loves that right shoulder. Up shot. Good D. Same play here. Refuses.
Flings it over to the corner to Sears. And off the floor with it is Young and Maryland.
Early drag. Well, they are really good knowing when to go under and when to go over the top with those screens.
Back out high to Scott.
Nice
Reese,
cut.
what a pass. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Missed the shot, but got fouled. Whew. So that was well set up, Raph.
Sure was. Gorgeous look. There's the great understanding. A little step, go. And, boy, that was a distance pass as well.
You get
Really
Bediako,
clever.
you get Bediako out of the paint there, wide open. Like you said, a great cut, great pass, but I'm not sure why Bediako's so far out of the paint guarding Reese at the top of the key.
And then Clowney, too, really never saw the ball on that back cut.
And Clowney picked up his second. So Donald Carey, who already has a master's degree in sports management. We were talking to him yesterday, and he was weighing whether or not he'll go through the commencement exercise.
I was thinking maybe getting a doctorate, too.
No, he's great. He's done so many things.
I think we convinced him
We did.
to go
You
through that
gotta
exercise.
go.
He was debating whether to do so.
It's going to happen now. As you said, do it for your family. Here's Miller. Oh, yes.
It's interesting. We were watching him at halftime. He didn't make any of those, right?
I guess the law of percentages, it's bound to work out for you if you're a good shooter.
Trying to come out and make a quick statement to start this half is Alabama.
Nice little fade.
That one doesn't go. And that's last touch by Bama.
Smart by Reese, too. And right here, the beneficiary of a guy who can get those puppies organized. Great at putting on the deck.
What do you think of the stroke, Grant?
It was an effortless 3. Doesn't really need a lot to get it off. Great length.
Nice screen in here to get.
Oh, Reese. He ended up thinking he was going to dunk it, but it got knocked out of his hands and it's still banked home.
They ran a play. That's what's key. A little back screen curl. Reese, the box.
Yeah, when Reese went down with the 3 fouls at the 8:50 mark, he basically ended up sitting about 40 minutes total real time.
A little bit of a settle there. I think he got it going.
I think also, too, in that first half, Miller was so good getting to the basket and the rim, but see that ball go through the hoop. You want to keep firing away.
Young.
Once again, Bediako.
So Bediako should just stay in the paint. Reese is not going to hurt you at the top of the key.
But it's going to open up if Reese screens the easy look we've been talking about.
Hart with Carey going behind the back, and that minute got stolen. It got away from him. Quinterly now 1-on-2. And
Nice hustle.
Right, Reese was
Give
there.
it up.
Carey inside and 2. Ooh, that was like a 4-point turnaround.
It sure was. Great defensive maneuver. Great hustle. And then the find.
Right back to the halftime margin. Quinterly setting up Bediako. Could see that coming.
He loves that play, doesn't he? Quinterly's so good. Pause, takes that extra bounce, lets the big guy get to the proper spot.
Give the big guy some credit. That was a tough catch and delivery, too. One hand.
Absolutely.
Oh, a slip on the floor, and it ends up in the hands of Quinterly. Just bad luck there for Young, and they come out and try to dry off that spot on the floor. Kind of banged up his elbow a little bit, too. Quinterly, Bediako again.
He knows who's on him.
Yeah.
Trying to get him number 4.
Reese had to back off.
Quinterly with the 5. Hudson Catholic.
Bediako 4 out of 4 from the field. All those shots around the basket dropping tonight.
A little handoff can work here simply because Bediako's on the big hole.
You had the shot.
Take it. Saying it ran out of bounds.
Quinterly getting on the ground, diving for the loose ball right there. Might have banged himself up too on that, but understanding every possession meaning something, and applaud the effort there. Just out of bounds there on the end line.
They haven't changed the clock either. It was a possession. Yeah, they do now. 20. I would ride that little Reese activity with screens.
I also think Reese, I'd like to see him maybe get a post up. Even looking at the rim when he catches the ball there 10, 15 feet on the wing.
And trying to clean it up a little more.
They're just making sure, asking the players check and see if there's some stick to it. Because they've had towels and brooms out there and mopped it up.
Now, I will say, as you said, with Reese, if they're playing way off you, that dribble handoff will be there.
For anybody.
For anybody coming off for an open jump shot.
Scott gives it back to the point.
Doing it again. Nice cut.
Martinez got a good look.
Pretty. Activity. Heart. Help with the bump.
37-30. Bama. To the corner to Clowney.
Nice rebound. We've got to grab it.
Reese better be careful.
Nice hands by Hart.
Hart makes some defensive plays in this game. Young comes slicing in. Look at Miller.
Get it out.
Man, it actually hit him in the elbow. He was up so high. Swing it over to the other end. Is it going to go? Yes.
Big change. Big change. What poise. And then the pass. Up to 10 quickly.
Crowd goes wild off of that sequence. Miller starring on both ends of the floor.
Play around, let him go to work. See if he can do
There you go.
There you go. Yep.
well, pretty good defensive maneuver here, huh?
That's special right there.
Oh, look at the eyes. Give me the ball. I got this.
Right now, Alabama just extending things defensively, finding the groove offensively, and Miller just showing that next level ability of his, Raph.
Absolutely talented kid, no question about it. Now, where do you go if you're Merwin? Kevin's done a great job with this team. I think you've got to ride that ball screen and settle for 2 deuces.
Well, they got away from it.
They did.
Hard time getting it in. Martinez backing in and getting a little help on the defense. Here's the launch, way short. Off the floor, though, Martinez.
A nice closeout.
Back to Reese.
Pringle on him.
Trouble. Football. Empty. He had the shot he wanted.
Yep.
There's Miller. Tap. No. Out to Hakeem Hart. Got a brother that's going to be a player one day. Reese. Careful. Oh, it is going to be on Alabama.
I think it was actually the right call.
Yeah, it was.
I think it went bang banger, but they do a nice job with that bounce pocket pass. Reese with a nice timing and read.
I thought Pringle would try to meet him up top. But you said great pocket pass, and Pringle just a little bit late in the restricted area there. Maybe
really needed Reese tonight, I think. Handicapped in that first half. Let that go-to post up.
We were visiting with him yesterday. We were talking about how they're taking on the 1 seed, and somehow the UNBC first ever upset of a 16 over a 1. It came up, and he said, you know, my mother's in the UNBC Hall of Fame.
Huh, that's incredible.
Yeah. That is amazing.
Yeah. His mother was a great player. His sister.
Yeah,
LSU.
Both named Angel. So, well aware of what happened back 5 years ago, and then we had our second one last night.
You, Jim, are working with 2 angels, by the way.
Yeah, I say my thanks. That's exactly how I look at it. Sears with 3 on the clock.
Good defense. Oh,
Martinez thought he had all ball, and he might have.
It's interesting, that baseline call, you're blocked off. The side official had a better vantage point. Well, at the end, I guess there is contact, no question about it. But Sears, guy that makes threes and so forceful.
Had 15 on Thursday afternoon. Best Coke ever? Take a taste and see for yourself. 15 the other day against the Islanders. He's got 3 so far tonight.
And a unique player. He can play on ball or off the ball.
And we mentioned the other night, at many points, UNC roasted at 7 threes. Other games during the course of the year, too. 27. Tough kid.
Biggest lead of the night now. It's up to 12.
Here comes that high screen roll, Raph.
And Pringle staying back, too. He does a nice job sealing off on the hip. Good use of the derriere.
Exactly what he did. He used his body to back him off from behind and then hit the shot. Now with 10 points.
Bringing stops together and rebounding. He's so good at that freeze layup. He's high. Kiss finish.
You see why he was a McDonald's High School All-America who began his college journey at Villanova. Was there for a year before transferring to Tuscaloosa.
And that terrible knee injury and operation. A little bounce back.
The injury happened last year in the first 5 minutes of the first round of the tournament. As Reese works hard for it and count it.
You've been looking for that all game when he's in there.
I have been. Reese taking advantage of his size mismatch, just backing down. Pringle not quite as strong as him, and caught him a little elbow there. Drop step, great finish. Obviously, we know Reese can struggle a little bit at the line at times, but trying to get himself involved. And look, still just down 10. This pace is still in Maryland's favor.
Pringle picks up 2 fouls in brief action. Sent out for the and 1. There you go. Yeah. Let's go over to Tracy.
Jim, you were talking about Javon Quinterly, and he told me it was a full circle moment. Very surreal stepping out on that court Thursday. It was a year ago that he tore his ACL in the first round of the NCAA tournament. For 4 months, he had round-the-clock treatment, 7 days a week. There were times he said he never thought he'd play like normal again, but he's so proud, he's so happy to be back out here, hoping to get a win for Alabama today.
Thank you, Trace. That Alabama team had a couple of attempts right around the rim that didn't drop.
Billion got a little,
bloody nose.
Yeah. Probably take a look at it.
I'll tell you, 4 guys
lip
on the glass there, Alabama.
Ooh. Ooh, that's more severe than we thought. I'm sure it's just a basketball play. We're going to take a look. That's happened a lot of rearrangements of noses. That's why mine looks swollen from many years ago.
That's why.
Was it his own guy there? Did Reese come down?
Yeah, could have been.
Can't quite see it from that angle.
No teammate got him with an elbow when he came down through.
Thank you.
Yeah, you were right, Grant.
Yeah, yep, it's right elbow there, catching a million right there.
And he's probably saying to Reese, thanks a million. I gotta lay that on Mark Grant. He gave me that. Our director.
Well, let's hope he's okay, because that
didn't look good.
No, it doesn't feel good either.
So highly competitive, all the games we watch. Everybody vying for the rebound. Yeah, that's just an earned hit.
Young.
Nice screen.
Oh, my goodness. He had the runner right near the rim.
I think he got a little bump. Not a foul. Nice run. This is what he does best.
Oh, that was a block, and Reese picks up number 4.
The running of the floor by Bediako. This kid's going to get better and better. Offense has improved.
Now what do when you got such a vital part of your game plan with 4 fouls?
Maybe give a couple of minutes and get him back in, depending on how the score is stretched out. You're impressed with his running ability too, aren't you?
Yeah, what I love about Bediako, he not just runs down the floor on offense, but also runs back on defense as well. And as you said, just keeps getting better and better, this young man.
Of course, you're too young, but watching the old NBA days, Bill Russell, one of the best at going rim to rim. And the rule was, if he's down there, you give him the ball. Sprint. Red Auerbach has won a few championships.
By the way, won a couple of NCAA championships too.
San Francisco. With Casey Jones.
Casey,
55 and 56.
I actually saw him play. I was 2 years of age. The Holiday Festival against Tommy Heinsohn and Holy Cross, believe it or not.
Look at that tap out from Clowney. Back to Bediako.
Martinez has to stay alert on the dribble drive. And look at that step back. And,
oh, my goodness.
He's good.
That was almost an ankle breaker.
Nice clip.
And a push off call. Call him Bediako. Under 12. Emma trying its best to pull away, but it's still single digits.
Sometimes the ball gets away from him. All that talent on this Crimson Tide team.
Well, all these guys are pretty good with the bounce, taking advantage. You're right. I'd love to see him get more opportunities.
Scott
Right at
worked
the
hard
rim.
to get a wide open shot. They missed so many of those in the first half. We had them down for 6 missed layups. Got that one as 1-2 basically.
Look at a lot of chances at the rim with this excellent defense.
Pass.
Clowney. That one hangs around before falling off. We got Maryland now, official stats, 9 missed layups.
Quinterly just keeps doing a great job getting the touch, finding some people.
And you have to wonder, Jim, though, about those missed layups, just the length. Bediako, the Gurley, Clowney, guys inside coming.
Third foul on Martinez. So Clowney, who rolled an ankle in that first half, never believed they'd be coming back. They call him around the team stretch. Maybe you got a little stretch in that foot or something. They just acting like it's totally unaffected him.
I'll tell you what, if I did that, I'd be out 3 weeks.
I'm kidding.
Well, late in your career, you had a lot of problems with the ankle, right?
I did. Not sprained ankles, broken ankles.
And now you have a big problem picking up checks. Nice drop step.
Clowney defended that well.
And to Grant's point, it's just size prevailing.
Well, extra time going now for Bama. And they got a foul call on Hart.
That was that Jay Wright jump stop right there.
Exactly, get a piece of that lane, but that was a 5-out set too. So guards could really dominate with that bounce.
And Reese is going to return before this gets too far out of hand. It's 11 with 11 left, and he's coming back with the 4. 2 shots for Sears.
And that's one of those cases now, not the size of Bediako, so get him in that low box area. Should be a knock down a couple of those baby hooks.
Hey, this Bama team did something at the start of the year you don't see very often. In a span of about 10 days, they beat 2 #1 ranked teams in the country. Of course, ended up there being the #1 team themselves on the #1 overall seed in the tournament. They beat North Carolina in late November when the Tar Heels were #1, and then won at Houston, coming back from 15 down in early December when the Cougars were ranked at that time #1 for the first of 3 different stretches.
At home, too, right?
Yeah, they came back from 15 down in Houston at the Fertitta Center. Now, here is Carey, just throwing it toward the basket. That's a high dribble. Miller gets it back to Sears.
Look at this kid. Great anticipation. Knew exactly where that was coming.
Watch out, Reese. Reese with the 4 fouls just has to stand there.
I think it'll be with
5.
Reese or Scott.
It's going to be on Scott.
Good referee.
All right, over to Tracy.
Jim, we saw Patrick Emilian take an elbow to the nose. He was in the locker room getting that cut, just patched up. He's back out on the bench, and they hope to get him back out here.
Well, still trying to find the focus, as that one will knock you woozy. First foul on Smith. Second half rebounds, 15-7 for Alabama, and now Miller at the line. Grew up in a total Alabama family. Consider that his dad played football for Gene Stallings back in the day, and then his mom, Yolanda, they met while in Tuscaloosa. Had all kinds of Alabama memorabilia in his room growing up, so it's going to be a 1-year, no doubt, time in Alabama for him. That's where he wanted to go. Just like his folks.
A little weave and a ball screen.
Young. Got it back. Then had it taken away by the other #1.
These 2 guards are tough. Look at him go wire to wire. Nice play.
That was Scott with the block.
Yeah, good reaction. So these kids at Maryland have done a really good job all year long. Saw them early in the year and just kept getting better and better, competing. Certain toughness that they have.
So good at home, too.
Yeah, exactly. And boy, is that building alive now. And Kevin Willard just bringing it all back to the old days, in a sense, with Gary Williams.
They beat Purdue one time this season by 14.
I think Purdue was #1. If I'm not mistaken.
There's Clowney. Beat Miami, which, of course, did wondrous things in the regular season in the ACC. Got another whistle here.
Like Quinn moves his feet defensively. I know he reached in at the end with both of the guards. Excellent on-ball defenders.
I like how Scott there identifying that mismatch, just backed him down, drawing the foul, but it's been a struggle on this end in the second half for Maryland.
And Dante has done anything easy really all game. He is back. Once again, Bediako on the floor changes things.
Good pass.
Back to Reese, never got a clean handle. Somehow Martinez in the right place. Bediako adds another rebound to his total. That gives him 10. 10 rebounds, 9 points for the big man.
Nate's really upset on that sideline. Let's them run their action. Middle ball screen. And a replace.
Gurley to Miller. Miller, 3, no. Put back, yes.
That's what they do, they chase.
Gurley, the transfer from Furman, and timeout called by Kevin Willard as Bama breaks it open.
You said it best, Raph. On the glass. They take a lot of threes, but they go get them when they miss.
Murray is now 17. The margin for Alabama. Second chance points, 13-zip. Big part of the difference between these two teams. And they raised him to be Crimson Tide fans early around these parts.
He looks upset. He must be having audio problems with our feed. They are impressive with that chasing of the ball. We talked about Houston earlier. And this team does it in a different fashion, not as physical. It's length and position.
Off the hands of Reese. It was set up perfectly. Yep.
Great feedback there by Gurley. I've been impressed. The defense, both games tonight have been incredible, but both teams here getting after it. And Alabama's length posing all kind of problems.
Nilian comes out for Maryland. They've had just 5 baskets in this second half and 5 turnovers as well.
The guards just really run some offense on their own.
Gurley.
Execute. It's just about individual ability and breakdown.
It's it back outside to him. Tries to chase his own miss, but it's picked up off the floor.
Spread to the corners. That was close.
Walk.
Yeah.
Martinez. There's a nice move. Oh, yeah. Beauty and one.
Well, this kid is pretty good at the rim. Watching games this year, he can be electrifying in the air. Nice ball screen. The roll freezes Bediako just enough to finish the deal.
They say he's the first Costa Rican player to play college basketball in a Power 5 conference.
This was at Utah, right?
That's transferred from the Utes.
Larry Kostoniak is the one, I believe, that recruited him. And then when Larry left, he sort of sought out another program.
Round of applause for Gurley. Just picked up his second foul.
Well, they are on their game. They are 9-10 deep. The defense can extend. Nothing easy at the rim.
Maryland will extend their defense now. Force a turnover, maybe more of a containment. Now going back to that zone. You talked about Maryland holding that zone.
They didn't use it much at all. I think they're probably afraid of offensive rebounding. Wow, plays like that. Ooh.
Bediako throws it right off a race.
Insult to injury, right? Took it on the chin, but we are in Birmingham, Alabama. We didn't get any barbecue.
Ernie Johnson, Jay Wright, Candace Parker, Seth Davis. They've been sensational. They're going to have the highlights and analysis on Inside March Madness presented by Buick coming up next only on TBS.
Well, the third best defensive efficiency in the nation on display, taking charges. One-on-one right here. Maryland, a heavy ISO team. Look at this textbook. Forcing the action and a turnover. Getting steals out in transition. Alabama on display. Obviously, we know championships win. Defense wins championships, and Nate Oates has his team playing great defense at the right time.
Look at all these numbers are better than the season averages, which are all quite good.
I just think the guards break you down, cause so many problems.
Look at that.
Quinerly fell on the baseline.
Tripped over a cheerleader.
Yeah.
He's fine.
Some guys got all the breaks.
Martinez got him to commit. Now on the runner, no. Reese.
Good rebound.
Puts it back up and in. That's Reese, what we saw the other day.
Looking for a foul as well.
Now with 11 points.
Small change in the backcourt. Martinez.
And the problem is you have too many ball handlers out here. I mean, Miller is 6'6", 6'7", and obviously Burnett, Bradley, Quinerly all can handle the ball. So and speeding them up, that's how they actually want to play. So
and the guards can rest too.
That was the 4th foul, by the way, on Martinez. So you got 4 on 2 different players at Maryland. As Reese had to back off of Miller's presence, and that's going back to the Terrapins.
Again, that second jump he has. Big bounce in those pins.
Well, who knows? Could you see Maryland chip into it a little bit, maybe even pop a 3? Hart.
They won't stop playing. What I think Kevin does with his team.
Great job.
Again, nice little drop step. Hart, who can knock him down, dominated.
Second basket of the game for Hakeem Hart. I mentioned his brother, Micah. He's going to be heavily recruited, just 15 years old. Everybody already knows about him. Micah is Hakeem spelled backwards, as he was anxious to tell us. Oh, look at that. I tell you, Quinterly,
Tell you what,
he's got a bounce or something about him.
He does. He's a live body.
That's it. We call it JQ time when he gets going like that. There's Young. Pulled down by the freshman Bradley.
And look at how he uses the floor. Good look.
That's going to be off Reese.
Well, at high school, Hudson Catholic, you mentioned Villanova. First thought he was going to go to Arizona and ends up in Tuscaloosa lighting it up. Great leadership in that backcourt.
Yeah, he's got 16 points tonight. 17 to 12 from the floor.
The pass.
Cut as well. Nice jump in the passing lane.
7 to 12, I should say, as Young drives in.
Pretty.
And that spins around 2 or 3 times and goes.
I really enjoyed him, haven't you?
Great kid.
God, goodness, he really has had a nice year.
Got some more Big Ten recognition.
Matt the kid. He was first team Conference USA when he was at his prior stop in Charlotte.
There's Bediako trying to scoop shot.
Good defense there by Reese, not fouling. German's hanging around
Yeah,
there.
scoring in a hurry, too.
He's got to turn and go.
Back up. Uh-oh. They could have called on him, Bediako.
I think it was a flop, to be honest with you. Knock him over like that. But I think he does have a counter move.
Oh, I don't know. He extended that right
elbow.
arm. Yeah, that right
Wow,
elbow
I didn't
right
see
there.
that.
All right, Gene Steratore. So they're all worked up here in Birmingham. We hear Gene thinks this was a play.
Next thing,
Was the flop first or the elbow?
you know what, guys? On the live take, I felt flop right away. But boy, when we got this other angle, and it is an angle game, that feels more like a back down offensive foul play to me. There's a lot of movement from that back down to me. But that's just kind of how I took it. It was an angle thing. When I saw that other angle, boy, it looks like he goes into him pretty hard offensively.
That was the 4th on Bediako. And now Reese hits the front end of the 1-1. So they're matching up with 4 fouls apiece. Those two.
I think this kid next year, Jim, is going to be absolutely extraordinary.
Yeah, you can see it, can't you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Usually picks up a cheapie in the first half. He's got to get away from doing that, those fouls.
Got 1 out of 2. Got 2 players on the Terrapins right on the brink with 4. Bediako for Alabama, as that's a reach around.
Oh, no, got to be careful. He's going to get a tee. That little wraparound.
Hart thought he had all ball on that play, but
And, you know, to your point earlier, there's so many ball handlers. It takes the stress off the guards.
I also think with Alabama, because they have such talent, sometimes they can get a little complacent. They don't knock you out in those situations there. And Maryland creeping back in the game.
That instinct, huh, to put you away.
1-1 for Miller. Watch whip around coverage of all men's games on your computer, phone, tablet, or streaming device with Fast Break presented by AT&T 5G in the March Madness live app. Scan the QR code now to download. Got them both.
Well, as good as we talk about the upfront people, the backcourt, I think, is key for this Alabama team coming down the stretch.
Miller with 19 tonight to go with 7 rebounds.
Just a slip, I think.
He lost it on the way up.
Yeah.
20 feet up into the sky, and Bama comes out with it.
Look at Bediako, goes right to the rim.
Timeout called right in front of Coach Oates.
Things go your way once in a while, huh? A little ring around the rosy. I know you still play that, Grant.
For 12 hours. There's Coach Oates, who was raised in Wisconsin, played basketball at the same school where his father remains a professor of theology, Marantha Baptists. He was a 4-year starter, playing the 3, by the way, Grant, playing a position that I think we'd say you were mainly a 3. There is Quinterly.
Speaking of 3.
Yes. Hey, he's having a big game. He's tied Miller with 19 points for high score.
I don't think Nate posted a lot of people up, though.
I don't think so either. There's Reese.
And he loves the
contest.
Right shoulder, yep, no question.
Quinterly with 12 of his 19 in this half. Gets it back.
Always unbalanced, great footwork.
And good vision, too, what's going on out there. He knew he was going to make that.
Looking over, smirking.
Tell you what, these guards for Alabama, Raph,
they are
special,
tough, right?
That's 22 now for Quinterly, and it's a 20-point lead.
And they guard Grant. Well, look at that.
Commit to the defense, no question.
Reese goes to the other side to get the bucket.
They have multiple guys that can just get hot, and they seem to be able to coexist. They respect each other. They read the hot hand.
You can't key on one, right?
Can't.
That hoop by Reese breaks a 8-0 run for Alabama. 2.5 to play. And then they'll be on to Louisville for next week's regional. Miller.
Right now.
I'd say 2 shots that never came close to the rim.
How about that little nylon from deep? Out of Hackensack, New Jersey. We mentioned Jim Spanarkle's high school. Mike Okora. Is that for you? I don't think he liked you, Brandon.
I thought he was looking at you.
Well, Reese has fouled out after that story became prominent just a couple of minutes into the game. Trying to hang around as long as he could.
And Jim, weren't you telling me something about Nate wanting to go to Wisconsin and learn how to coach?
Yeah, he did. He ended up going to get a master's degree, graduate degree in Madison, as Bediako is at the line. TNT and HBO Max are your homes for U.S. soccer. Watch the biggest men's and women's national team games all year long on TNT and HBO Max. So Reese out with 14 points in 21 minutes of action.
They had a Bennett connection, didn't he, Nate, if I'm not mistaken?
Well, Coach Dick Bennett was still there, and he was on campus pursuing again a graduate degree when the Badgers went to the 2000 Final Four. He wanted to be around the team as a team manager, but he didn't make it in the tryout. The tryout, which was conducted by Coach Bennett's son, Tony, of course, the national champion coach from Virginia.
Well, another guard got him into coaching from high school to college.
Bediako with his 3rd career double-double.
That would be your guy.
Bobby Hurley, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no wonder he's so animated on the sidelines.
I like that little connection over there, Kevin, with Young. Kid gave a great year to Maryland.
Oh, listen to the chorus. The Roll Tide. And they're doing just that. It's Quinterly.
He's strong, too.
Back out and inside, and Clowney was fouled. They're going to start to empty the bench a little bit. Adam Cottrell's going to come in. along with Delaney Hurd. Nick Pringle's going to return. He saw limited time tonight. Burnett and Bradley.
Knowing the end is near. Not a happy Maryland bench. Terrific year for those guys too.
Kevin Willard did a fantastic job and 22 wins his first season tournament appearance.
Great marriage, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, the Terps
right.
Only going to get better from reports on recruiting.
Quinterly's brother, Jaden, number 34, gets to see some action here for the final 145. And the missed free throw denies the opportunity for Pringle to get out there, as it's an emotional time for a guy that's enjoyed the experience as much as Jameer Young has. He got to go out just as he wished to play in the NCAA tournament. It's never easy to see it come to an end. You think of some players, again, how much they're in a rush, try to go to another level. Then you got the guys that never want to leave.
It's a
Heartbreaking, really.
privilege and an honor to be a part of this. And obviously, as you said, when it comes to an end, it hits you, and it hits you hard.
You've been on both ends, really. I mean, favorably more often than not, but it's got to be devastating for everybody.
It is.
All the hard work that you put in.
Correction, Adam Cottrell, that's his first. That's the 19th.
And how impressive were they? We got a chance to meet with them, mature, well-spoken, excited about this opportunity. And it's coming up short. It's a very talented, very deep ball club.
Mike Cornish at the line for the Terrapins. Freshman from Baltimore. Pringle pulls it down, and Alabama's going to go next week to Louisville. And they're in the bracket as the shot is off the mark. Pringle picks it off with his shoulders and puts it up and in.
This is his building. Boy, mixing it up.
This is his basket for sure. And Pringle, so good there on Thursday on the glass. And as they say, once you pop, you can't stop.
Oh, a Bachelor underneath. Couldn't make a decision.
It's Noah Bachelor on the floor, number 11 for Maryland. And here's Jahari Long. You mentioned he was a Seton Hall guy a couple years, and Cornish not able to get it. This bracket that Alabama now is going to be one of 4 residing at a regional. It has been the Cinderella bracket, which is not to take anything away from anybody. They've earned their way. As Hurd hits the shot, but they've already lost the 2 and the 4. Today they lost the 7. You're going to have Princeton and San Diego State are in. Alabama's heading to Louisville, and we'll find out tomorrow about Baylor or Creighton becoming the 4th team. Martinez, body contact, but he still got it to go.
And Raph, he's athletic.
He is.
Oh, man.
He can hang. He'll give away in the backcourt, but the aforementioned.
Yeah, Alabama's next matchup is going to be against San Diego State in the Sweet 16. Aztecs.
San Diego State, talented. They're playing great basketball right now.
Brian's got them playing. They played good offense today. They're a great defensive team.
Brian's had some success as a head coach, assistant coach in the tournament.
Steve Fisher was alongside during their great runs a few years ago. Maybe 2013, Jim, you're the authority on those dates.
Well, I'm thinking about, and I had a lot of those games in San Diego State, but when you said that, I was thinking back to the days in Ann Arbor.
Me too.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking that as well.
I was thinking 1989.
Wow.
And then, of course, what happened with the Fab 5 teams. And Brian was an assistant.
Bo wanted a Michigan man, right?
That's exactly right. And they said, Bill Frieder? Nope. No. Right at the start of the tournament. I'll go with Fisher. 34 years ago.
And then he went and built that program out west.
short. Batchford hangs on the rim. We got 9 seconds to go.
And Raph, do you see a weakness here with this Alabama team? Are they vulnerable anywhere?
You know, I think defensively they're extraordinary. I think offensively, I think you got to run some things a bit against a really solid defensive team. I don't think you can jack your threes. I know the individual ability is there where they can freelance, but you know, when somebody takes away that one-on-one straight drive, where do they go?
It's a lot of like a pro offense that Nate Oates runs, and you're right. If you're not hitting shots, you're not getting post opportunities, it could be a long night.
By the way, it's just one last word on that region. They got Princeton that's already beaten Arizona and then beat Missouri. What a performance by them. It's a 15 making it to the regional. Alabama's one of 16 teams that's going to be playing on the regional week in Louisville. Second straight win in this edition of the tournament by 20+.